Hi, I'm Patricia, and welcome to my creative space. Today we're going to create a star snowflake pendant. Here I've got my clay rolled out on its thickest setting. On my Atlas pasta machine, it's at 0. And I'm going to be using the wavy edge instead of the straight edge today. I'll set down my clay, and I'll grab my acrylic block, and I will just press down on that as good as I can. Give it a little twist. Give it a little more of a twist. Pull it out and push that clay out gently. There we go. Now I'll pop that back on my paper and I'll put it in the oven that way. And I will bake it at 275 for 1 hour. And I'm just smoothing it out here to make sure it's all nice and flat. I don't want any bubbles in it. Okay, now it's out of the oven and I am ready to start sanding. I'm going to start out with 400 grit sandpaper. And I'm going to work my way up to 10,000. So I'll just work through all my grits that I have, and when I get back, we'll start on the painting. Okay, and here we go, starting with the painting. And today I am using watercolors again. I'm really loving using the watercolors, as you can tell. But I thought this would be another really good technique for this idea. And I've sped it up so it don't take so long. And I'm using, I think I used 3 different color blues in this one. And just went around in circles. So now I'm going to go back through and make sure I got the edges really good and painted. I do want the edges painted also. Just kind of watering down my top a little bit more. Now I'm going to let it sit and dry. Now that it's all dry, I'm going to cover it in Lisa Pavelka Magic Gloss. And I've sped this up for you. First I'm going to do the edge, and then I will fill the inner part and go to the edge. now we're going to stamp it with nail polish. And I've got some stamping polish here from Preen. And it's white. And I've got my nail stamping plate here with snowflakes on it. And if you've never stamped before and you want to do this, I suggest doing lots of practice first and searching it all up on YouTube, because you do need to prime your jelly stamper before you start using it. I tried and tried and tried at the beginning and I just couldn't get it. So I did a lot of research on YouTube and figured out what I was doing wrong. And I show cleaning it up off the pendant with a alcohol wipe. I suggest you not do that. For some reason, after doing this, it did not want to lay my next coat of resin on very well, so I ended up having to use 3 coats of resin. And yeah, it was too much. So I suggest cleaning it off of your gel stamper beforehand with some tape. Okay, and here to save time, I'm on my 3rd coat of resin here. That's counting the bottom layer, the first layer I put down. And this is the 3rd layer that I'm working on here. You can see the spot where it had pulled away from the edge and kind of left a little well in there. I believe it's because I wiped it down with alcohol. I'm pretty sure that's why it's doing what it's doing. So that's why I recommended don't do it with the alcohol wipe. Just clean your stamper off with a piece of tape where you don't want the print to come off onto your piece. Okay, now that it's all done and cured, I'm going to clean up the back here. And now I'm going to clean up the edges. What I'm going to do is wipe off the ink, or not the ink, but the paint from the edges. And it's going to actually leave that color on there as if I had put an ink on it or something. And it comes out really beautiful, this really beautiful blue. And I really like it. So yeah, I'm wiping it down with alcohol wipe, 70% alcohol. Now I'm going to paint the back fully so I can hopefully get that color in there really good, because I want more of that blue satiny color. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. So I'm pushing it down pretty good, trying to get all that paint down inside of there. And hopefully it will embed into the clay. That's what I'm hoping it will do. Now I'll let that dry, and I'm going to take my alcohol wipe here, and I'm just going to wipe off that excess blue paint and see what I'm left with. I'm left with this really beautiful satiny blue. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love this color that it's given. I want to wipe down the whole pendant, making sure that I don't have any paint on it anywhere. Making sure it's good and clean. I'm going to take a permanent marker, a Sharpie, and I'm going to mark down where I want my hole to go. And that's where I'm going to drill. And I'm going to be using my little electric drill to drill my hole today. I'll just go right in that hole where I made the dot. Excuse me. Now I'm going to go back to the back hole. And as I go through each pass, I'll make the hole just a little bit bigger. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I was off a little bit, so I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger and off to the side a little bit more. Because I was off just a hair. Looked nice and straight on the front, but when I went through it was not nice and straight. So I'm just trying to widen that out a bit. Make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more even where it's at. Okay, now that's all done. Now we're just gonna put this necklace together. And right now I'm putting the bail on the pendant. I've got my jump ring here and my pliers. Trying to get it closed. Sorry I'm out of view. Sometimes these little suckers can be difficult and they don't want to cooperate. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Get it closed back up. Maybe one more time it will work. I don't know why I'm having such a difficult time with this one, but I am. I think that one finally got it. Finally, I'll take my rat tail here and I'll string it through the bail. And today I'm using my hypo cement to glue the rat tail into my crimp pins that don't crimp, by the way. So you have to glue them in. Just putting some on there, just a little bit. Don't need a ton. I just like to get all the way around the cord. And I do it just as I did before, kind of twisting it up in there, pushing it up to the top, and then pull it down just a smidge. And I will do the same thing on the other side. Put that glue on there. Make sure I get it all the way around it. Take my crimp in and twist that up in there. As long as it will cooperate with me here. Pull it up a little bit. And there we go. So now it's time to add the jump rings and the clasp. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the 6mm jump ring. Put that on here. And so I am out of view. I really need to work on that. I don't mean to be out of view, but I end up there anyway. Now I got my 4mm jump ring. I'm going to open that up. I'll put on the claw clasp. I'm going to add that to the crimp end. Then close it back up. Okay, there we go. That's done. Now I'll just latch it together. And that'll be it. There we go. Beautifully done, if I do say so myself. Zoom in on there so you can see it better. Came out beautiful. I'm very pleased with it. I hope you are too. If this tutorial was helpful to you in any way, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I also have a Facebook group, Trisha's Lovely Creations. I hope to see you there. Thanks. Have a great day.